If you're a man, one of the worst feelings that you can experience is not being confident in your performance in bed, not knowing whether you'll get an erection or whether you'll able to sustain it for long enough. And in that moment, it doesn't just affect your body, it hits your confidence, your identity, your sense of being a man. And the biggest problem, you can't even talk about it because thoughts start creeping in. What if they tell the world and it's not a secret anymore? What if they make fun of me behind my back? What if they use it against me in future? What if they think I am impotent and not even a man? So you stay silent and deal with it alone. Some men even starts depending on pills like Viagra just to get through the moment. But deep down, you know that's not the real solution. It's just a temporary fix. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to fix this problem at the root, naturally, without depending on pills like Viagra or anything else. So you can have complete control and confidence again, there too within the next 8 to 12 weeks. Whether you have been struggling with this for a long time or you just started to notice the signs, this can be fixed. But before we go further, let me ask you something and be honest with yourself. Are you underconfident about your erection during intercourse with your partner? Have you started fearing physical intimacy because you are not sure whether you'll get an erection or not? Are you sick and tired of making excuses for avoiding physical intimacy? Have you been taking or considering taking Viagra or similar pills just to satisfy your partner, even if it is just a band aid solution? And deep down, are you afraid that if you talk about this with your partner or anyone else, they might see you differently? They will think less of you, or they will think that you are important. If your answer to any of these questions is a yes, then today is the day. Everything is going to change for you because in just few moments I am going to share you with a single most powerful method to permanently remove erectile dysfunction and premature ejaculation from your life, and that too naturally. And this isn't just a theory, this is the exact system that has already helped men like you regain full control, just like Mr. X. And yes, as you have guessed, I have changed the name for privacy. Mr. X, who started seeing big improvements following our peak erection method in just 12 weeks, and now has completely reversed his erectile dysfunction and is officially off Viagra. And in his own words, he finally feels like himself again. But before we go deeper, let me quickly tell you who am I and why you should even listen to me. My name is Hardik Singh. A lot of people know me as Hardik Singh Fitness on Instagram. I have been in health and transformation space for years now. And in that time, I have helped thousands of people transform their body and health. Now, here's something I started noticing over time. As I grew, as my company grew, as I started working on more and more clients closely, I realized a pattern. Men who looked fit, men who were doing well in life, men who seemed confident from outside, were still struggling with performance in bed. And the surprising part, no one talks about it. Not openly, but behind the scenes, this is way more common than people think. And when I started working closely with such clients, understanding their lifestyle, their stress, their habits, their mindset, I realized something most people completely misses. The problem rarely just physical. In fact, in many cases, the body is capable, but the system is out of sync. And that's what leads to inconsistent performance, loss of confidence, and eventually dependence on things like Viagra, which again doesn't fix the real problem. And that's exactly what pushes me to go deeper into this, studying it from multiple angles and building a whole system that actually fixes it at the root. Now, let me tell you what typically happens when a man faces even one bad experience. It doesn't just stay in the moment, it follows him. Suddenly, the thought begins: is it going to happen again? Is this permanent? Is something wrong with me? What if I can't satisfy my partner? What will this do to my relationship? Will I have to depend on something like Viagra forever? And without even realizing it, he enters in a loop where it's no longer physical, it's psychological. Because the first time might be incidental, stress, alcohol, fatigue, but the next time it's pressure. and pressure kills performance. I have seen this pattern again and again with clients. Perfectly healthy men, good blood reports, active lifestyle, and still struggling. That's when I realized something important. This is not a rare issue. This is a silent problem that most men go through at some stage of their life, but no one's talk about it. And what worse, most solution out there don't actually fix it. They just mask it. Pills like Viagra. They might give you a temporary solution, but over time, they'll become a crutch. Not just physically, but mentally. You start believing, I cannot perform without this. And that's where the real problem begins. Because the more you depend on it, the further you move away from fixing the root cause. But here's the truth, if you address the factors, if you fix what actually causing the issue, this can be reversed naturally, and that's exactly what I'll break for you next. After spending months studying this deeply, I decided to test what I had learned. So I made a simple post on Instagram talking about this problem openly, and response was shocking. Hundreds of messages from men going through the same thing, even a few from women also asking help for their partners. And what stood out the most was this: the post had far more saves than like, which told me something very clearly. Men want help, but they are not comfortable talking about this publicly. And that's when it hit me. This isn't a small issue. This is something that silently affect a huge number of men and can slowly start affecting their confidence, their relationships, and their overall quality of life. That's when I decided to go deeper and built a structured system around this. What I call now is Alpha Wellness Project, a step by step approach designed to fix this problem at the root. And since then, I have worked with men from different backgrounds, business owners, working professionals, CEOs, who on the outside have everything sorted, but behind the scenes, they were struggling. Let me give you an example. One of my clients, let's call him Mr. Y, highly driven, running a successful business, but his life was completely off track. High stress, poor recovery, alcohol, smoking. And over time, this started affecting not just his health, but his performance and confidence. It reached a point where it was impacting his relationship. Like most men, he kept brushing it off. Just stress. But it wasn't. It was a combination of multiple factors working against him. Once we identified the root causes and started fixing them step by step, things began to change. Within a few weeks, he started noticing improvements. And over the next couple of months, he regained full control, not through shortcuts, but by fixing what was actually broken. And today, he is not dependent on anything external, just consistent, natural performance. Now, if you're watching this and you are dealing with something similar, or even starting to notice early signs, I want you to understand this. It's not your fault, and you are definitely not alone. This problem comes from multiple factors: psychological, physical, lifestyle related. It's really just one thing, which is why random solutions don't work. So, before we talk about fixing it, you need to understand what actually causing it. Because once you understand the cause, fixing it became much simpler. And that's exactly what we are going to break down next: the real reasons behind the problem and how you fix them naturally without depending on pills like Viagra. Number one, let's start with porn use. What's the number one issue when it comes to the porn use? You have 10 different tabs open with varieties of different fantasies, and the different fantasies keep you getting on extreme and unrealistic over time. The biggest problem with that, the real life does not match it up. With that, now we have conditioned our brain to watch it for months and years. That can cause issues due to lack of arousal, wrong expectations, and lack of dopamine in real life scenarios. The second factor is your lifestyle: lack of movement, poor nutrition, high stress, poor sleep. These things don't just affect your body, they directly affect your performance. A lot of men ignore this while they are single. They just think, I'm tired, I'm busy. But when they got into a relationship, That's when the problem became visible. A lot of men, as a defense mechanism, blame it on their partner for not being attractive enough or for not being good enough in bed. But let me tell you something, finding the real reasoning and fixing it is thousands times better than satisfying your male ego by crushing your partner's self image. The next factor is addictions: alcohol, smoking, drugs, excessive porn, even misuse of performance enhancing drugs. All of these slowly damages your confidence, your hormonal balance, your sleep, your recovery, your overall health. And over time, all of these together can lead to messed up erection health. The lower the use of the intoxications, the better the health and erection would be. Now, the next is one of the most common and most ignored: the anxiety loop. One bad experience leads to overthinking, overthinking leads to anxiety, and anxiety kills performance. Because when your body sends pressure, it doesn't prioritize arousal, it prioritizes survival. And that's why even healthy men struggle. Now, in this case, we need to do a lot of psychological work in the movement and anxiety, mental work to work around this. Next comes your pelvic health. Pelvic muscles and a combination of other factors are a recipe for bad and weak erections. So, special work on strengthening, stabilizing, and mobility of your core, glute, and pelvic are highly recommended. I recommend performing pelvic floor pre workout as that would help your overall stability to weight training, and other body parts can also have a direct positive effect on your performance and even your hormonal health. Body composition and hormonal balance. Your body composition also plays a major role. If you are overweight, it doesn't just affect how you look, it affects how you feel about yourself. Lower confidence, poor body image, and in many cases, hormonal imbalances and reduced blood flow. On the other hand, being excessively lean or constantly under recovered can also disrupt your hormones and performance. So it's not just about being fit, it's about being in the right balance. And beyond this, past injuries, physical limitations, or even unresolved stress or trauma can also contribute to performance issues. So the real focus should be this: fixing the root causes, not just chasing temporary solutions, because in most cases, it's not just one issue, it's a combination of multiple factors working together. And if you try to fix a multi layered problem with a single shortcut, it simply won't work. That's exactly why solutions like Viagra only give a temporary relief. But over time, they can actually make the problem worse. Because instead of fixing what's broken, you start depending on something external. And the more you depending on it, the further you move away from natural and real control. Now, maybe you already told yourself, this is normal. It's part of my life. It's just stress. I'm just tired because of work. And you have been ignoring it, hoping it would magically fix itself. Or maybe you had no one to talk about it. So you have been dealing with it silently, carrying it alone. Or maybe you're just blaming it on your partner for not being attractive enough or not being good enough in bed, instead of fixing what's actually going on. And over time, you start avoiding intimacy, making excuses, pretending it's not a big deal. But deep down, you know something isn't right. Don't you have that fear, the thought that your partner might cheat? And before you know it, there is a distance growing between you and your partner. And yes, things like Viagra might give you a temporary solution, but you already know it's not fixing anything. It's just helping you to get through the moment, not solving the problem. But here's what I want you to understand: you don't have to live like this, you don't have to deal with it alone. This problem can be fixed not temporarily, not with shortcuts, but by identifying and fixing the root causes the right way. And that's exactly what I have built over the last couple of years: a structured step by step system that has helped men take back control of their performance, their confidence, and their relationship. Because this is not just about fixing any issue, it's about transforming how you feel as a man. And if you're serious about changing this, let me show you exactly how this works and how we can fix it step by step. Phase 1, we start by understanding exactly what's going on with you. Not guessing, not generalizing, but identifying your specific root cause. This includes a detailed review of your blood markers, understanding hormonal imbalances and deficiencies, understanding your lifestyle, stress levels, and habits, and evaluating psychological patterns that may be affecting your performance. Because the truth is, until we know what is happening, we can't fix it properly. And based on this deep root analysis, we built a completely personalized plan for you. A plan that doesn't just focuses on performance, but upgrades your overall system, your health, your energy, your confidence, and how your body functions as a whole. Phase 2, the reset phase. This is where we start fixing the problem. Step by step, we will address the health issues holding you back by working on all the aspects of your lifestyle to get at your natural best. At the same time, we work on improving blood flow and physical function, including targeted pelvic and core workouts that directly impact your performance. We also focus on removing dependencies, whether it's excess stimulation, addictions, or habits that are draining your system. And most importantly, we start working on your mind, breaking the anxiety loop, rebuilding confidence, and resettling how your body responds under pressure. So instead of forcing performance, your body starts functioning the way it's supposed to, naturally. Phase 3, the confidence multiplier. This is where we take your progress and evaluate it to the next level. At this state, your body is already responding better. Now we focus on optimizing and amplifying everything. We track your internal markers to ensure about your hormones, recovery, and overall health are moving in the right direction. And based on that, we introduce advanced strategies, including targeted nutrition, supplementation, and performance focused training. You'll follow specific workout and lifestyle protocols designed to directly strengthen the system responsible for your performance. But more importantly, this is where your confidence starts becoming natural. No overthinking, no second guessing. You just start trusting your body again. And step by step, you move towards performing at your peak, physically, mentally, and consistently. Phase 4, permanent reset and lifestyle integration. This is where the performance became permanent. By this state, you're no longer fixing a problem, you have built a system and made it a part of who you are. Your habits, your lifestyle, your mindset, all aligned. So, performance is no longer something you think about. It just happens naturally, no dependencies, no fear, no second guessing, just complete control and confidence. And the best part, this doesn't fade away. You maintain your results effortlessly because this is now your default state, a level of energy, confidence, and intimacy that stays with your life. Now, this is your moment. Right now, you have a choice. You can either stay where you are, being unfair to yourself and your partner, stuck in frustration and uncertainty, or you can take this step towards fixing this once and for all. Imagine what life will look like when this problem is behind you. When you wake up and get in bed each day with confidence, when intimacy or your erection is no longer a source of stress, but a natural and fulfilling part of your life. This is what I want from you. My team and I are here to guide you through this pandemic, step by step. All you need to do is take the first step. Click the button below and book a root cause analysis call with us. Keep in mind, this call is completely discreet, and me and my team are legally bound not to share any personal information with anyone. This isn't just a sales call, it's a discovery call where we will dive deep into your current situation. How long have you been dealing with this? The problem, the root cause. What stage of ED are you in right now? And map out exactly how we can help you. This will also help us to ascertain whether we help you or not. Yes, we cannot help all cases and we need to align before we onboard you. No bluff, no bullshit, just real conversations about your current state, your root cause, and how we can start fixing it immediately and naturally. But let me be clear, the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to fix this. Taking action today isn't just a step towards fixing your erectile dysfunction, it's a commitment to yourself and your future. So click the button below to book your root cause analysis call now. Let's reverse your ED together and naturally, and make sure the problem doesn't just haunt you like 7 out of 10 men who are dealing with this problem and are never able to talk about it with anyone or fix it. The erection, the sexual health, the confidence, and life you deserve are waiting for you. You just need to take the first step.